31, stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Juan Gagnon here.
Martin Green here.
Jonathan Sindorf here.
Tim Kerman here.
Roxanne is excused. With approval of minutes. Has anybody looked at the minutes?
So I have. I found a number of corrections.
Okay.
So, for example, space in between the 6:30 and p.m. the first line. And number 10 on the second page. Number 10, the corrective quick clean the deed, space after reported.
Okay. Put you on. Thank you. On speakerphone. Thank you. Okay.
You want to send the corrections to me?
Yep, I can send you all the corrections.
All right, I guess we'll play multiple minutes for tonight. Signature action intent, that one.
Hey Bonnie, do you know what map and lot that's for?
No, I was just looking, trying to find that.
It should be right on there.
Map 28, block 2. 28, block 2. Lot 2.
So it's map, what was it, map 28?
28, lot 2.
Thanks.
No more than one? No. I thought it was just one. Do you want to speak to this, Roxanne?
Yes,
Okay,
sorry.
go.
Can you hear me? What did you, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Did you want to speak to this?
No, I just wanted to know what the map and lot number
Oh,
was.
okay.
It's just an intent to cut, so there would be no issues with that.
Right.
So when someone wants to make a motion to, do you know how much they're gonna cut? It should say on there.
I was looking to see. I'm not used to looking at these numbers. 30 acres.
And acreage to cut is
1,306,800 square feet.
I don't know what I mean. Sorry. Yeah. So it's 30 and then acreage of lot is 30 and they're cutting the whole thing.
Will is that?
This is map 28, lot 2. I'm not sure exactly where that is.
John, which one is it?
I'm not sure where that is. Let's see, we've got access road. Right?
I suspect it might be like a Piper
Yeah.
Mountain or.
Yeah, it says access road.
Access road, yeah.
Does anyone
I'll
want
make a motion to accept the intent to cut.
to have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I
Touch that.
And that'll be fine with the 4 signatures you have there, so that can go right back to Robin. He
Okay.
doesn't need to have all 5 signatures.
Ball plug around the room.
Yeah, it's the last one of it.
Okay.
Last slide on Piper.
No, it's above it. It's actually above it, and it
Oh, yeah.
abuts Wakefield, so it's,
Yep.
it's, lot 2 is, up in this upper
Right in
corner
there.
that abuts Wakefield,
Oh, wow. Okay.
all right?
Well, thank you, man.
Yes.
Hey, just FYI, Bonnie, I think there is inside the one of the doors, there's upstairs, there is a book with all the maps. So, I'm gonna hold on. Yeah.
I'm moving the poll closer to me, I can't hear you. What was that?
In the closet, before you go upstairs, there should be a book of maps, because we keep it in the plan, once up there, if you want to look at it, see where it was.
Okay, Jan just pulled it up on his phone, so it looks like it's way up. We're just waiting for that to sign. All right, fire and security quotes. Scott?
So we have the central signal quotes. We had the quotes from Hackworth. Those are quite old at this point. And then those are all in the BOS email and then replaced some time. And then the most recent quote we got was from Burns. After reaching out to them multiple times and not hearing back, I sent another email just on a whim, see if maybe they responded, if they did. Come to find out, the owner is kind of stepping away. And it was his email kind of sending it to, so he wound up forwarding it to somebody else. Anyways, long story short, they came out, did a walkthrough of all the town buildings last week. They did give us a quote, give us quotes on those. They're in the BOS email. I do have a copy here that Kim has as well. I'm not sure what you guys are looking for information on it, or if you've had time to review it.
So I had a little bit of time to review. It looks like central signal is $5,194 to install, and then a yearly cost of $5,052. Looks like the M Burns is $4,720 with a yearly cost of $2,800. And Hackworth is $10,000, well, almost $11,000, $10,996 at a yearly cost of $1,728. Does that sound right?
I didn't crunch all the numbers.
Okay.
I did have some questions on some of the quotes, so I did email Burns. Because I'll just go through the questions I had for him. On clarification form was like the fire department. So there's a price on the quote for transferring over to their systems, and then the reoccurring cost. And that is on all of them, but there is one quote that it says varying buildings, which is basically all the buildings. So the quotes individually are for security, and then the various buildings quote is labeled various buildings, is the fire monitoring for all. So that quote doesn't just cover one building, that's
Covers all of them, yeah.
for all of them. The other individual quotes are for security. So we currently have Central Signal is who currently does the security on the public buildings.
Because they're the ones who bought Cunningham, right?
They are Cunningham, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like policies.
Right.
So they have SOS, Cunningham, and Central, what did I say it was?
Yeah, Burns, Hackworth. Yeah.
So, and I guess I'll just give a quick little Reader's Digest job, because I know you weren't on board when this all started. So the town years ago, I'm gonna just shoot in the wind here, maybe 5, 6 years ago, had security and fire monitoring put into all of the town buildings. And the company that installed it and that was monitoring it went bankrupt. And they wound up selling the security side of it, but they never wound up selling the fire side. And nobody ever informed us. The way we found out was all the fire panels were beaten. And they were all beaten because they lost signal because they were no longer supported. So then at that point, we reached out in an effort to find out what it would cost to bring fire back on board as far as fire monitoring. Fire, and like this building has flood, this building also has a temp sensor in it as well, where it's not monitored daily, or where people aren't in the building daily. So if the temperature drops significantly, what have you, it'll actually notify. So with that, we then explored security as well to try and see if it was more cost effective to have fire security and everything all under one company. So that was kind of how this project started. So you guys do it, at this point we have 3 quotes. I don't think there's any.
Do you have a suggestion?
Right now we use Cunningham or Central Square. I'm going to refer to them as Cunningham just because that's how I know them. Right now we use Cunningham for fire, or for security, sorry. They do a pretty good job. I get phone calls when this alarm goes off in the middle of the night. My phone rings at 12, 2 a.m.
Well, you use DM Burns though for your.
The police department though is under DM Burns and has been under DM Burns since I don't know when that contract even started, long before I was involved. Now there is a couple varying degrees with some of these quotes that I'll just share with you. So Burns and Hackworth, their system has like an integrated doorknob system on the fire department. So they put the code in the door and then unlocks the door and turns off the alarm and everything all is one. Right, whereas right now, the fire department has a panel inside and then they just have like a digital door lock from Home Depot. And so this will allow them to basically deactivate the alarm should they come in. So it's one less thing they have to do before responding back out of the building for some form or fashion of an emergency. So the Hackworth and the DM Burns include that. The Cunningham one does as well, but it's broken off separately in there. It's kind of an added feature, if you will. As far as DM Burns goes, they've been very good with as far as the police department for our security system down there. The only thing I didn't like with them is every time we need to change a passcode, there was a fee associated with it. I don't recall the fee off the top of my head, I believe it was like $80 or $100. Whereas these other systems are all web-based, so we would have access codes, so I could go in and deactivate and change the passcodes, what have you, for the alarms, versus with DM Burns having to call them, give them the name, change the code, and pay. Now, in their quote, though, there is an upgrade to security included in there, which would then allow their system that we currently have, should the town choose to go with DM Burns, to have the same feature. But it would require us to upgrade the current security.
Right.
So, in all honesty, I think they're all great companies. When I worked in Farmington, granted it was many, many moons ago, that Hackworth was who we used down there. They were very good. When I called them for a quote, they were very responsive as well. I do think that their quote, should you guys review it all and take some features away and stuff, you might be able to get that down into a more acceptable.
Because they're the most expensive right
They're the
now.
most expensive.
By everyone, everything.
But their quote entails a lot more features and a lot more product, I guess would be the best way to put it. I think that if you wanted to get in the same realm, there's definitely features on the Hackworth quote that you could strip away and get that quote, I think, probably down closer to the others. But again, I think all three are good companies. I don't have anything negative to say about any of them.
And if I'm looking at this correctly, it looks like DM Burns is $2,500 cheaper than anybody else. And that's including the what's called security update.
Yes, the only one with DM Burns that kind of got me was the various buildings. Because they also, DM Burns break their down quarterly.
Right.
As far as the annual payment. And, there will be yeah, so the other buildings are 112 quarterly.
Yep.
And the various building one was 700 quarterly.
Right.
But again, that various building is all your fire. The other three quotes are your security.
Roxanne, did you have anything?
We do currently deal with,
All three companies have the security and fire, right?
yes.
Yes.
So we currently have DM Burns for security at the police department, and then we have Central Square for security at all the other counties.
Okay, thanks.
Also, we're paying two different people.
The DM Burns comes out of I think that comes out of my budget for security down there. And part of that is we're separate because our evidence room is also secured. But again, that was set up long before my goal or my objective and how I got kind of involved in this was, basically exploring to see if it was worth it to get it all under one company.
Anyone else?
Like I said, as far as I can tell, what's called the difference is DM Burns appears to be $2,500 cheaper than the closest, which would be Central Signal, and about about 5,000 less than Hackworth, which is the most expensive. So I guess it comes down to, do we want to stick with Central or Cunningham Security, or do we want to go to DM Burns?
The other thing I'll just throw out there real quick is that the Hackworth quote and the Central Square Cunningham quote, those are old, those are from over a year ago.
They could be even more now.
So they could possibly
Most likely are more.
possibly be more.
Whereas DM Burns,
DM Burns was last week.
which means that this is pretty accurate.
Yes, oh, this is very accurate. This is May 1st, the big games.
So then DM Burns is probably still cheaper by even more now. So I guess my recommendation would be to go with DM Burns.
Roxanne?
Especially if you already have.
I think I'm good with that. I just want to make sure we have coverage for security and fire.
Correct.
I think the fire is a question as far as we feel.
Do that.
Yeah, all three of these codes
Plus security.
encompass security, flood, temperature for this building, and fire.
Yeah, I'm good with.
It's a no-brainer.
That's what I think. But yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
And DM Burns is ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was one thing we did have an issue with Cunningham, I will say, now that Dan brings it up, is we did have to have them come out for a service call. And they're based out of southern Massachusetts. And they wanted to charge us for the travel time and the mileage. I explained to them that if that's the case, we're all set, we don't want the business. They waived it, came up and did it. But yeah, DM Burns is ready to do it. And they were very responsive. He contacted me at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 10 o'clock, he was here to walk around.
Yeah, any bad luck with them?
We've had no issues with them as far as, like I said, all they do for us is our security, but they do very good.
So then I'll make a motion that we go with DM Burns for fire and security.
I'll second it.
Discussion? Everyone good? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you guys want to handle the implementation of this? Or?
Did you hear that, Roxanne? Do we want to handle it, or do you want him to? Scott to?
I'm fine with Scott doing it.
Okay.
That works for me.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
It's just not a police matter, so I just want to make sure.
Appreciate that.
All right, Casella.
Hey, Tony. So there were some questions about some stickers and some prices and all that stuff, and what were other towns' rates for stickers? And one of the questions is why did you suggest that we go higher on our sticker price? And
I didn't make a suggestion to go higher. I had been told that the discussion was that we were thinking of going higher. When I sent the brochure over to memorialize the rates for this year, I think it was June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also thought it might be, but in the end, there was discussion and you guys decided to stay at 5.
Yeah.
I have been vocal in all my communities for the escalating cost of the fall. Mostly when it comes to mattresses and box springs, because that's the big thing. No matter where you go with box springs and mattresses, whether it's New Hampshire or Massachusetts has a law, but New Hampshire and other states have all followed the trend that these items need to be taken out of the waste stream to be moved to a secondary site or recycling. Most of it's for safety reasons. They have an air interface in them, and they go to landfill, they create saggy pockets where you've got very underrated cover. And the truck comes the next day, the left wheel might have that pocket where the mattresses were. And that's one of the main things that's been going on for years. But now all the transfer stations, landfills, and burn plants don't accept them, so they're kind of exempt from that. But the transfer stations, they have to physically go in when they see a mattress or a box and remove it from the load and escalates the cost because of paper. But as a rule, depending on how your tax base is set up, most towns that I've seen in the last 10 to 12 years have all realized the escalation of the cost and have moved to try to at least limit residents to either a single bulky per pickup or minimize it to some degree. But my suggestion would be to, as a team, as a community, maybe go out and research what other communities are doing. And it's always good to tell you guys, look, we're going to do the same thing that community needs to be that, right? Or somewhere in the medium of it. So I can provide you with a list of municipalities that have built one programs, and you can look at their program and see what they're doing. Again, there's no particular recommendation on my side because I don't know your tax base. If $5 is working for you guys to recover some of the bulk costs, which are trucking and disposal. Very simple on our side. We have no dog in the hunt, right? If we get paid X number of dollars to go out and collect it per event, and then we charge out the tonnage per ton for whatever we get during that event. So
I guess that was kind of my question I had is the 3,600 in addition to our regular monthly cost.
Yeah.
What is that going for?
So 3,600 is for the increased collection cost of the being labor, taking these
So it's for the additional people.
people, even the same people doing more work, more lifting, and more hours and whatnot. The disposal, unless we send a separate truck out, which occasionally we have to, like if they see a high presence, they have a backup truck ready to come out just to help out with the bulkies because they can't get everything done in one day like they normally would with trash. So we take the collection time and it's flat rated, but the disposal is either mixed in with your other MSW, or sometimes when they send that helper truck out, you get a separate disposal line item on your bill that represents the tons that it took from the second truck coming out. So that's that's how it's worked. Since I've come on board, in 2020, that you guys have stayed the same pricing structure.
So, alright, so like I said, so 3,600, that pays for the additional labor involved,
Yes, and truck.
the truck.
Fuel and, all that stuff.
Well, it's the same truck, so why would it be more fuel?
If they have to send the second or third truck out,
If they have to, okay, well,
Yeah.
if they don't, it doesn't,
Yeah,
Yep.
here's where they've got 3 trucks out there. It really, it kind of blows. And
well, we get charged for gas too though, don't we?
what's that?
Don't we also we get charged for gas, so we don't get charged for,
Not only on the first truck.
okay, so the second and third truck don't,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not part of the normal.
that's what I'm trying to understand, so that way, you know, it's like, we understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, and so we kind of blend our costs when we put together a pricing structure. We kind of look at the past and see what the averages are, and then we price based on that.
Okay.
It's a very common thing these days, and this is why I've been vocal about it. For towns that have a low cost for bulky collection, I'll just use an example of $5 per item, versus other towns that don't have that kind of service at all. Or if they do, they don't provide bulky service, you have to take it to a fuel station or to a commercial market. You're kind of opening yourself up to being open to having people outside your community bring stuff into their friends and neighbors and whatnot to get the low cost as well. And it's a big thing. I only give an example of Hudson, New Hampshire, when we first moved into Hudson in 2007. They didn't have an ordinance prior to that for how much trash you put out per week at all. So they couldn't tell someone no when they put the stuff out. Back then, bulkies and MSW mixed together, so people could do weekly. They went on June 30th of 2007, and historically before that, to July 1st of 2007. They went from 44 tons a day of average disposal to 24 tons a day overnight. And a lot of that was Litchfield residents that were on the borderline. Their friend was next door, and they knew there was no limits, and they were paying, quarterly for having to take it to the dump and bringing it to their neighbor's house. Or I like to say the stuff they call ghost tonnage that they find like in Congress when they have patients for conversion. They had a similar situation. And the other dynamic is if you don't have an ordinance on how much you can put out every week, then someone who's cleaning out their basement or their attic or something like that is more inclined to say, let's get rid of all this stuff, because they're allowed to. So it actually, kind of brings me down to saying, oh, maybe I can give this away or put it on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, versus, or just keep it and get rid of it.
But then you have a lot that just dump it on the side of the road.
I've heard that for many years. I do mostly see that with stuff like mattresses, box springs, and TVs. Those are the 3 things that we see with people, and that's regardless of, because the programs, when they start charging those fees, you're going to see some of that. Although historically, in all the towns that I've managed, we see little pockets of it here and there, but we don't see a mass problem with it. The ones that do, they find areas where people might go to a dead end street that's plastics road or something, and no one's around. A lot of the times they'll increase police presence or trail cameras and stuff like that. And make an example of some people, and then all of a sudden it goes away or minimizes. But yeah, that's something individual for each town we have to look at for sure.
Can I ask a question, Tony?
Absolutely.
Currently, so I know we have bulk pickup twice a year in Middleton, but I mean, that doesn't deter anybody from putting on additional stuff during the year if it gets picked up, correct?
Yeah, so your regular MSW has that effect that I was talking about earlier, where if, most people, if you go around looking at what's out there every Tuesday and Friday, you'll see it's pretty normal, right? During the spring and the fall, when most people do a lot of clean outs and stuff like that, that's when you'll see your MSW rise. You may see somebody, that goes out to 2 or 3 barrels or 5 or 6 bags, and next thing you know, they got 15 or 20 for 1 week or 2 weeks or something like that. But as a whole, if you add it up, if a higher percentage than normal does that because it's allowed, then you're going to see your tonnages fluctuate during those 2 times. They'll go up a little bit. So it's certainly part of the driving force behind automation, which is, in our industry, we call it volume control. You give someone a 95-gallon cart for trash, which is usually ample. Again, if you drive around, I've done it several times in Middleton, just preparing for the quote that I provided you guys last year. I didn't see very many houses that would have a hard time getting by with a 95-gallon cart.
Well, that's kind of where we're headed, right?
Yeah, but before you can do that, you really have to come up with an ordinance to complement your new program. And what most towns do for the people that can't make it, there are people that they have large families, or maybe they have medical conditions and they have to get a lot of boxes in every month for their medical supplies and stuff. They have, additional cart programs where you can rent an additional cart direct to the resident because their weekly output doesn't match the 95, and some towns will assist, or they'll have hardship rules that they come up with for if they meet the litmus test, and then they're granted another cart. Durham is going through this right now. They want to do that program where you have to go to the town. They're about to convert over to automated as we speak. We're starting Durham on July 1st. We're taking over the town, and I was impressed by their level of concern over people who don't meet the norm. So they're going to have a hardship program where you can demonstrate to the town that you should have 2 barrels instead of 1, then they'll sign them up. They're also having their complementary with the subscription program I mentioned, where people who don't meet the litmus test can still rent an extra barrel from us on an annual basis. And because you're marrying it with the normal collection, the collection costs go way down. Subscription service for a barrel once a week is typically about $600 to $700 a year for a resident to rent. Curbside collection for a barrel. In these programs, because they're being picked up with the economies of scale of all of the residents, that same truck is picking them up. What we do is we bring it down to about $225 a year. And of that $225, we break out a ton of disposal per year for that extra cart, and we remit it back to the town. So the resident gives us $225, and if your tonnage rate is $100, we get $100 per year back to the town to offset their disposal. That way, you're not treating one resident any more favorably than another resident that's paying the same taxes for the same service.
Now, I will bulk react when you guys go on it.
Both. So both will be the same, except they'll have to send a truck out.
So it'll be a second truck.
Yeah, the old way. Like when Waste Management had this account, they actually sent out 3 or 4 trucks during that period. And again, but your costs are based on that. They're based on having to potentially send out that second or third truck. So that won't hurt you. And you could assist in keeping the cost down by coming up with a program that more accurately covers the real costs of going and taking bulk items from the house, limiting them to 1 or 2
Well, I mean, right now, it's called citizens through their taxes are paying for this already, right?
Yes.
So then if we're going to charge them more, then they're paying more for their taxes, and then they're paying for an additional program.
Well, I guess what I'm referring to is like you have a couple residents out there that are, most residents might have 1 or 2 or 3 items each time you do a bulky collection.
Right.
And you have some that have 30 or 40. That's what you're trying to protect against is, as costs go up and you have to tighten your belt a little bit, you've got to protect against people bringing stuff in from out of town, or from work, or from friends and relatives.
But a lot of our garbage, I bet you, 4 months of the 8 to 12 months, our garbage must go up sky high from the lake though.
But that's included in the normal quote. When we did the whole number of tonnage, number of collection hours, look at it as a year, not as a month. So they look at the winter months are very low on disposal, low on collection costs, but on the summer months, it's.
Oh, yeah.
So we look at 12-month period, not a-
Right, which is why we had the average of 75 was called tons per cycle, whereas if you look at what we've been collecting for the past 12 months, we've been under 70. So, which I feel is going to go up pretty soon.
Roxanne?
Yeah, and Tony, would you be able to give us a couple of the towns like their program as far as what you were talking about, with the garbage, the sending limit to the 195 barrel or whatever, just a couple of your towns that we can go out and see what they have or an ordinance to see it,
Well, we're looking at Durham right now, right?
Something we give us a basis to start.
Yeah, so I would look at the bulk program first, definitely, because those are more established. The progression of the towns that have seen the cost of bulks and their disposal costs rise have been the ones that have looked at the per sticker item cost and tried to raise that up incrementally as they to be proportionate. The programs that have automated and gone from manual collection to automated, there are a lot of them. Durham is new, so you won't have data on that for another year. At July 1st, when the program starts, you could kind of look at how effective their numbers will be on July 1st of 2028. But other towns, many other towns, have gone through the conversion for years now. And like Hudson is a great example of how it helped them, but there's many others that their labor costs went down because our industry as a whole is finding that the most dangerous job in the country, one of the most dangerous, is the labor on the back of a rear-load truck. For some reason, rear-load trucks and buses seem to draw people into colliding. I don't know why they have flashing lights, they're yellow, but yet it's a well-known statistic that the insurance companies are aware of this and they charge us higher insurance rates and stuff like that. So our costs tend to go up for manual collection. It's also hard to find consistent labor in today's modern world, right? You can make $18 an hour working at McDonald's. Not a lot of laborers want to go to work on the trash truck for 23. It's just not enough of an increased wage for them to want to do that.
So then the likelihood of, say, by the end of our contract, us being automated.
That's up to you. We can do this within months, right?
So in other words, if Middleton wanted to stay with having people come out, well on the truck.
You have a brand new contract, and you know what your fixed costs are.
Yeah.
You also have a alternate quote to convert to automated, which lower your costs because of those synergies, the labor synergies.
Right.
And you take the gentleman off the back of the truck, and now you just pay for one labor driver. Okay. And
But if we wanted to continue with that route, we could stay with that route.
you can, yes, absolutely. If you want to convert over, you would have to come up with an ordinance because otherwise, without an ordinance, you really can't tell someone they have to do a 95-gallon cart but not have an ordinance to back it up.
Right.
So, but as soon as you guys decided how you wanted to proceed with an automated program, which are basically those two issues that we've talked about. One is the ordinance, and two is how do you deal with people that have more than 95 gallons. Those are two things that always have to be worked out to the satisfaction of the people, right? And you want to keep your residents happy, and you want things to be fair.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, which is why,
Yeah,
raising the ticket price for a bulk sticker is gonna be difficult.
I understand, yeah, no one wants to see any costs go up, but,
Roxanne has something to say.
Yeah, just like, one of my concerns is, yeah, we need to take a look at this and get it under control. Because I think, what everybody thinks is the state of for garbage, they different ideas or whatever. But I guess my concern is we have people who have business, home businesses that generate a lot more than regular just family homes. And so, the rest of the residents have to pick up the additional cost that they're putting out there for additional garbage. So I think we need to take a look at that. So I guess, Tony, like I said, if you could potentially give us some towns that you deal with that, or that in place, that would be good. That would get us a starting point.
absolutely, and I'll make sure town of Tilton is one of them. They were one of the towns that had a lot of, call mom and pops or, people that were running business out of their houses, and when they went to the ordinance, what they did was they decided to they did 1 through 4 families were allowed to program 1 cart per unit. So 1 through 4 families, if you were 4, you got 4 carts, if you were 1, you got 1. But if you were a commercial business, you get 1 cart. So they were trying to help out the mom and pops. And of course, they also allowed them to rent extra barrels and help pay for the commercial businesses. So they didn't have as much of an advantage over other commercial businesses that were paying for dumpsters. So that's a good time to look out for that, how they develop their businesses. It's right on their brochure that they put out every year, so it's stated. So I'll provide those for you with a list of other ones too. The whole thing, I would start with, if you want to find out how will it impact our residents monetarily, you keep track of your sticker sales.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you keep track of your sticker sales and you look at, I'm just going to use state numbers. Let's say you sell 1,000 stickers per year. That's 500 per now. So, and so 500 times $5 is $2,500. And we look at what did that then cost us? Then it's a good place to start by saying, okay, what will happen if we bring that from $5 a sticker to $10 a sticker? Well, now it's $5.
Well, that's harder to figure in a way because in our December tax bill, we give 2 free stickers. So they're not buying those stickers and they may be saving those stickers.
But you oh, I see. Yeah, that's important to find out.
Right, because I got them in my December bill, but I didn't actually use them this year.
I had a resident just this past week that said that exact same thing. Oh, I had some extra stickers left over from the past events,
Right.
and I decided to use them. And she apparently didn't know if it was okay or not. So of course, I told her what. But you're right. There's some math that has to go into it, but well worth doing to find out what the impact would be. To try to at least get close to a number. No one's ever going to get it perfect, but maybe you can get close enough to make an informed decision.
Anyone else? Thank you very much.
The 2 stickers, we have 2 bulk pickups, right? So the 2 stickers only really go for either one,
Right, absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Right. But
If
when
you
you
use
use
it in
them
the fall,
on,
or you use it in the spring, you have none for the fall.
exactly. But I didn't use any in the fall, I didn't use any in the spring, so
I've lived
it's
here for
harder.
20-something years, I don't know how many stickers do I have in 20 years? Well, why do we have, what's how many stickers I have?
40.
You know what I mean? I've never used a sticker.
Yeah, and that's
And we raise the price, you can stand out and sell them for half the price.
I can, I can stand on the side of the road.
it's a great point you raise. It is, and it just goes to show when you do your math and you look at it. There's a high percentage of people that probably don't often use the stickers because they just don't need to, and so that means that your population that is using them is smaller, than the 900, right? It's 600 or something that actually use programs. So in that case, typically we want to try to get something that's there in the middle. The people that are doing stickers that don't use them are paying the same taxes as the people that try to get stickers for free. some point, you just want to make it fair as much as you can.
Well, how's that be unfair for your king? I mean, everybody gets the tickets. I mean, yeah, everybody gets the stickers. Whether or not everybody gets the stickers, whether or not they use them or not.
Well, the math will tell you, the numbers don't lie, the disposal numbers don't lie.
Right.
You look at how many tons you're increasing during those two events. It typically, when you go down to the average weight of the bulk item, that tells you something. Not perfect, some bulk items might only weigh 10 pounds, other ones might weigh 100, okay?
Well, I mean, some might weigh the same as regular garbage. For example, my wife and I, one of the things we put out was a set of chairs. And we put, one sticker on one, sticker on the other, and those chairs probably weighed, if that,
But again, it's not about the individual, it's about the collective whole. So if you
Right.
come up with something that you feel comfortable with the math on, it'll help you develop a better whole program. And it doesn't have to happen overnight, it can take some time to get to everyone feel satisfied that you come up with a bigger number. The only thing I can say is that because that number is a number that along with your volume control, those two numbers historically got changed in almost every other community in the state and in other states for that very reason, to try to make it fairer, not to try to it cost more for individual homeowners or raise their rates too much, but to just be average, to try to make it fair across the board. And if you're paying $40 a sticker as a community, you're only getting 5. It's something that's worth looking at. I don't know what your numbers are. You do. You know your revenue. I don't. I know you know your expenses because we're charging it to you. But I don't know what your revenue is. So if you look at those two things, most towns are just trying to bridge the gap between what they're getting for revenue versus what they're spending.
What are you talking about revenue? Are you thinking we're selling these stickers?
You get $5 for the ones that
Additional stickers.
The town sells them for $5.
Oh, in addition to what we get in our.
Right, and if you remember what we talked about,
Are you talking about an attractive?
we talked about getting rid of that free tickets and only allow people charging,
And
yeah.
then making a different price range for mattresses and box springs?
That hasn't come yet in this program.
Is that something that should be looked at?
No, it's part of our quote for the town, right? Your quote was developed in 2020 before the mattress and box thing became big in New Hampshire.
Well, what do you mean? The most recent quote was developed last year.
Right, but we based it on historical quotes.
Okay.
So we left the model the same. In other words, a lot of new pricing out there for bulky is they have to give you a list of what's acceptable for what we're allowing for that 3,600.
Right.
But mattress and box springs will cost you an extra so much per her. That's a modern quote. When we did your quote this year, we modeled it on the 2020 quote, and we just did labor and disposal.
Okay.
So if we're going to charge for those mattresses at turnkey, right? If it comes in to us, it's not being reflected back to you right now. In the future, you're going to see that that's going to become a big, especially when it becomes a law in the state, which they're moving toward. I was counting the DES waste council. So I'm privy to the legislature that they're,
right.
And what they're trying to do with organics and recycling and special items, like mattress, box springs, and special lists. They're trying to model it on Massachusetts because it's worked so well in Massachusetts. It's increased their recycling percentages over the last 20 years. And it's gotten all the mattresses and box springs out of the waste stream, and now they put recyclers. Casella actually owns the largest mattress recycling plant down in Connecticut. And so we see the amount of mattresses coming out of Massachusetts and box springs going down there. It's pretty impressive. Along with other companies like us that you've done. So that's the direction they're moving to, but legislation takes time. They also don't want to sticker shock the residents in the state of New Hampshire by expediting similar legislation. It takes time to slowly work it in. But it is coming. It's It's gonna be here maybe in 10 years or so. It will be completed.
Roxanne?
I just need to drop, I gotta go get plane, so I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, thank you. Have a good fight.
Okay,
I just have a question as to prioritize. The first step is to find an ordinance, and you've suggested to look at 2, Tilton and Durham. And then after that, look at structuring some costs in stickers. Is that the first step is the ordinance?
Well, to go to automated, yes, but the other conversation is only about your bulky costs, versus those other.
Two different things. Thank you.
Yeah, and Tilton is a very, very new ordinance where they converted over from manual, it's only like 6 years old, or 8 years old at this point. So that's a great one to look at, and they did a nice job of keeping it simple
Right.
and easy to understand. But I'll provide some other ones as well.
Thank you. You all good?
What if we made special stickers for mattresses and boxes?
we could do that.
So I mean, and I'm saying, you know, I know probably town
It's
people get
something
pissed
for
off, but I
us.
mean, just charge them stickers for mattress and box springs only if you're gonna do that, and if they're not a special sticker, then they don't get picked up. I mean, that's, I don't know, I'm just throwing that out.
Well worth looking at when that time comes, for sure. Right now, you guys have been pretty good. The program is working in your favor, even though, again, your revenue is small versus your cost. So that's just something that, again, I don't experience. But when the box springs and mattresses come in, this is what most towns do. They have one rate for normal bulk fees that are acceptable, which is called $5 rate. Okay? And then they have another one for box springs and mattresses, which is usually about
Or maybe, you know, get a dumpster, and if people wanna do it, you gotta charge them, they have to haul them to a dumpster. So they're not, like you say, going to a regular landfill in a truck where it's gonna be, at least they all know it's in the dumpster and that's it.
They have that, has become a very big program across the state now, where a lot of towns will have their residents bring mattresses and box springs to the landfill, up to the transfer station, or they have it for some central facility where they host, almost like they have this cleanup day, right? But except it's for mattresses and box springs. And the reason
Would you have a problem with that? If the town, you know,
I work for the town, so.
I know, that's what I'm
I
saying.
can't have a problem with it. If I do, I won't be here.
You know what I mean, but.
No,
Dumpster down.
Well, you're gonna, you know, then there's gonna be the whole insurance thing on who's gonna be loading the mattresses and all this other stuff, and it's gonna be a safe spot for them to load them. Typically, when you have a dumpster that people load into, you've got a railing, and you've got a platform, and sort of like Waste Management has on their residential collection. I'm just saying, hey, I work for the town, whatever they tell me to do, that's what I'm doing.
No, you know, just be, if it saves money, or if it, like you said.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me, yeah.
In the future, it might be a great idea, and all of those concerns that you mentioned are usually taken into consideration. Some towns, because they don't want to risk their employees lifting, especially the ones that got cut on the rainstorm, right? Those mattresses, they'll choose a form like an open top 30 where you can, open the back door and come back, or somehow lift gates that we provide as collection. Other ones actually hire us to do the labor part for them. We typically have either a forklift or something that comes to the product and stuff like that. But it's not here yet, but when it is, that's exactly what you might want to look at to get that transfer station cost, which is insane. In Massachusetts, it's $200 per mattress. That's standard price. And so here, they're down right now in a dumpster, we're charging $100 per mattress in a dumpster. Why? Because we're going to get charged by the disposal site to pull that out, and it's going to
And then they're gonna charge for the drop of the dumpster, they're gonna charge for the pickup of the dumpster and fill the dumpster, that's the whole. And a transfer station, you know, you have people that bring stuff in every week or whatever, and that dumpster gets full, and once it gets full, they say, we've got a full one. If we only do it one weekend out of, or even 2 weekends out of the year, and we only get 10 mattresses, now we're paying typically $600 to drop a can and pick it up, and then plus the weight. So that's stuff that you gotta look at, that's, we're not a big city, and probably we don't have that many mattresses to do something like that. I'm just, it doesn't matter to me, I'm just throwing it out there, because I remember when I first did the electronic tape back, we had a metal dumpster dropped off, and you couldn't fit everything in a wheelbarrow. Way overkill. And that was just that one particular year. Now we have a metal guy that comes around, picks up the metal after, and we don't have to worry about dumpsters.
Yeah,
But yeah, just,
this is not
yeah.
now, but
Right.
later.
Yep.
If you get to $100 a mattress, six mattresses take care of your transportation.
right.
Versus, so if you get those mattresses down to $20 a piece instead of 100, the savings to the town. But you're not there yet, as you mentioned, right? You don't have this mattress problem.
Yeah, you don't see a bunch of them. There are a few flea markets out there, but yeah, you don't see a bunch of them.
So anyone have any other questions?
The only last thing I wanted to bring up, and let's go, I know that you've probably received a phone call about the rate for the tonnage,
What?
the rate for our tonnage.
No.
It hasn't matched what our contract has been.
That's it. We were gonna get a credit for January, February, and March.
Well, now April too, right?
Sorry, I thought you meant for residents.
No. It's for April too now, right? Because we just got another bill.
Yes.
There was- After the phone call, there was
It's stated the December rate, which before we signed the new contract, it never got moved over to the January rate, right?
Well, the December rate was cheaper,
Yeah.
and then we negotiated something in the middle.
Yeah.
And we're getting charged a higher rate
Yeah.
for the past 4
That
months.
I do have, yes.
So but that's going to.
A resident call, I
No.
apologize for that.
But we're gonna have that. We're gonna get credit for the 4 months plus.
You'll see.
Moving forward, we'll see it go back down to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, on your June 1st invoice, and I guess, the only thing that you may want to discuss with me is since you have a May 1st invoice for April in hand right now, right? If you haven't paid it, I can have it short pay, and it'll just meet that credit.
Okay.
And then the other ones will show up on your June 1st invoice, either way at your cost.
Yeah, I just got the bill today, so.
Yeah.
You want me to just give you a call?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
And then we'll just short pay that one. Yes, I corrected the rate for the month of May, but the credits,
Well, the invoice we got for May was still at 115.
no, that's the month of April.
That's okay.
Yeah, May's,
So we just got May. All right.
June 1st,
Okay.
yeah. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah, get that one for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for answering all the questions.
Yeah, thanks. I live in Tilton, so I'm literally 48 minutes from here.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
See you, Tony.
All right, so that'd be you.
So currently on lot 175 on Lake Road, that was my other property. And we're trying to alleviate some of the flooding, backfill a little bit. There's currently a cross-street culvert that ends 3 feet on my property. Basically just looking for your blessing, we would like to extend the town culvert down to the natural culvert at my expense.
How would you feel about that?
How do you feel?
Well, we now dealing with a problem right now, well, not a problem, but it was a problem on Lake Shore with the same situation of private hooking into town. And the trouble is, when the private part gets messed up, it's not the town's pipe. We don't have any means to clean that. So I would say, if they're gonna do something like that, I would suggest at least a 4 to 6 foot opening that would separate the town pipe from the private pipe. That way there, if the private pipe gets plugged up, it's just gonna fill up into that hole and go over the top of the ground. Similar to what it's doing right now on Lake Shore. So my thought would be, if you're gonna extend that pipe 4 feet away from it, something that we could get in there and clean that out with, a little bit of riprap to slow the water down, then do the opening of your pipe, and that would be your pipe on your property that would run out to the back. And that would be my suggestion.
That's agreeable. I mean, you guys already came in and trenched about 3 feet with some riprap, so we could just carry it from that.
Right, and I know exactly, and that one doesn't really see a lot of water, but it would give you the opportunity to level out your land and do that. And then that way there would be a spot for us to be able to get into the pipe and clean our pipe out if it plugs up, and also an access for you to get in, such as a clean out, to get into your pipe to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest, and I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yes.
That's understandable.
You'd be good with that?
Yeah, we do that, no problem.
I'll make a motion to extend our blessing for that to happen the way Dan suggests.
I got a question. Are there any state laws involved in placing culverts?
I think she's asking if you just said it was wet, then you could fill it in.
No, I didn't. When did I say it was wet?
You say level it out. Well, I mean, obviously it's wet, there's culvert there. Water there, right?
The idea of culvert is it wet right there? Is there wetland?
It's not wetland. That, if you look at the boundaries where the culvert, the original culvert that was put in 2016 was supposed to empty into, which is the town-owned culverts next to me.
Yeah.
That's wetland, but it's alterable wetland. As long as you don't impede the flow, you can redirect the flow. My lot is undeveloped woodland.
And that would be up to the homeowner, Josh. I'm not a wetlands.
Yeah, I don't know the rules on it, I just know how you can just go in.
No, the contractor has to check.
Well, no, he's not talking about, it's a swale. So he's talking about putting a pipe, same thing you do with a ditch line when you put a driveway, you put a pipe so that it carries the water. Same thing, it's no different. He's gonna take the water and transport it through a pipe versus a swale. So, as far as filling in any wetlands, yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody.
I mean, we checked, it's not wetland.
Yep.
Okay.
That's,
It's got cattails growing on it.
Because town water's going through it. It's not designated wetland.
What is the relation with the Sunrise District? What's
Excuse me, I'll hire
the relationship with the Sunrise District with that, with the Lake District?
My relationship with
No, like how does that relate to what's going on there? What's there
Now,
involved?
behind the properties is the culvert that all the water flows through, goes
Right.
down the Cross Street culvert into Lake Shore.
Right.
Right now, with that one that's having that issue, I'm under 24 inches of water on both my properties.
So would this be draining into those?
Yes. To the right of 175, there's 3 town-owned properties that are designated culverts. And I guess the intention at one time was they were supposed to run down to the natural culvert in the back. Instead, there's so much water coming down now that are running across both lots. And with the Cross Street culvert there, that's added more water to
yeah, that's the one they have the grant money for.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
once they start on that project, which they have started on, they cut trees and filled the well in and all that. And they're supposed to pump that water down first before they start digging, is what I was told. And so what they'll do is, that area will drain off and handle the water like it did, we'll say 4 years ago, because I know in the last 2 years it's gotten a lot worse. So the water that you're seeing out back will then dry up. And the water that is getting fed into that, Mr. Silver is calling it a culvert, but it's actually a drainage ditch, that's running out back, just for clarity for the other people, because it's not an actual culvert out back there. So the water is a natural runoff, and, I don't know this for fact, but I do know that in the deeds on those pieces of property, it does say that, you cannot impede the flow to the lake. Right, so that's, I think, what you were kind of referring to, I'm not sure, but anyways, so once that gets taken care of, that area should dry up, and, usually around August, that pretty much comes to us, because that's the same stream that runs out back to your property, Kate, that comes out of that swamp, so.
Yeah.
Typically in July, August, that'll dry up.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Ever since they cut the trees up on Silver Street, that stream's been flowing constant, and it never did before. And another thing about living down in that area, anytime anybody puts a wheelbarrow bit of dirt down in that area, it affects somebody else's property.
That
So
whole
you
place
guys
was
are
built that
proving
way.
something. So you guys are proving something without a plan and without something in front of you. You gotta be careful because of your virus. I mean, it's just pushing water around.
Yep.
If you're solving a problem, that's one thing. But if it's creating a problem for somebody else.
Well,
You should have some sort of a thing in front of you saying, okay, we're doing this. And we got this guy doing it, so there's some accountability.
I like the sounds of this, but I kind of tend to agree with Dave that it needs to be.
Well, we can always have the crossing pellet removed where it's supposed to be put. And I don't wanna go that way. I have a piece of property I'd like to use, that town water is infiltrating. It says cat nine tails, in July when it dries up, those things will die. But it's only because the water's been infiltrated. It's not a wetland, we've checked this. So, I mean, if she wants a plan or something, then I guess I have to go back to the town, and then we have to have a plan where you guys remediate the water situation that is dumping on my lot.
My only problem is I don't know enough about this myself.
Yep.
That I don't know if
I
permits or letters need to be notified or, checked into more or what. I need to give the go-ahead when.
I don't wanna have it, I'm trying to do this as simple without an
Oh, absolutely.
adversarial to get anything legal. I'm paying taxes on a piece of undeveloped woodland, and now I'm getting flooded, and it's water, like she said, every time someone does something, well then, if I can't use my lot, then something needs to be solved with the town water. Guys buy my lot, move the culvert, I don't know, I don't wanna come from this position, I just wanna be able to use the property that I bought, and I'm paying taxes on.
I understand. What do you guys think?
I need probably more information too. I know, Dan provided me some good information today, and I gave, there's even this other piece to it too, right,
Yeah, the culvert that he's
Yeah.
referring to is very seasonal.
Gotcha.
I'd have to remeasure it before I bet any money on it, but I believe it's a 12-inch culvert that comes across the road there. I don't know when that was installed, but I do know that there was a lot on the other side where the water settles, and it probably built up and went over the road, so they said, and I don't know how long ago it was installed either.
2016.
Yeah, so that culvert was probably just to get the water across the street as opposed to going over the road or down the road further, so.
And that will be another issue, because now that lot is being developed, and they're going to build on it. Right. So that's.
And this is what we're dealing with over there. A lot of people say we have a drainage problem over there. There is a drainage problem. There is no drainage. It was
No
never.
drainage plan.
Well, this was a seasonal high-end campground. There was never any drainage, there was never any intentions for people to live in these things year-round. We have septic systems, we have a bunch of stuff in there. The roads weren't built to any specification. I'm still pulling rocks and stumps and logs out of them every year. But the trouble is, it's like you said, once you build a house and you've created this flat area, surface, then you get more runoff. It does not, yes. Impermeable surfaces, so, yeah. So, this should be in another meeting as far as, this is a big cost to the town, all right? So now, as a town, you need to figure out, okay, they did the same thing up across the street on Nicola and Dudley. They put drainage in to control all that. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm not disagreeing with you, I believe
Yeah.
what you said, I believe what Mr. Silver says, but for you guys to agree to a plan, you gotta see a plan. You gotta see what's gonna happen to the abutters. I mean, it might be I don't care if you require just like a little sketch.
The water's gonna end up in the road, which is where it's ending up right now.
Yeah, I've seen
It
it.
runs down the road. That's not drainage.
That's not my argument, because that's
No,
all gonna be
I'm
worked
just
on.
telling you, that's reality.
And what did they do to get that plan? They got permits, and they got schematics, and they got engineers to do it. And I'm not saying what Mr. Silva wants to do, or what you think should be done is, it might be fine, but what do you got before you? What are you looking at? What's his plan?
Josh?
Just to kind of get back on track here for John. I have a question. You're not looking to redirect, you're looking to take a ditch line, put a culvert in so that it's usable, and the water's still gonna go in the same direction, it's just gonna be in a culvert instead of
Yes.
running wherever it wants down
Yes.
a path. You're putting in a culvert, potentially fill it over with loam, so you can mow your lawn or whatever, correct?
Yes.
So it's not like he's redirecting the whole neighborhood into a different direction, it's gonna go in the same areas.
Yeah, even just a handy drawing plan or something. You gotta protect the abutters, that's all I'm saying.
We own the lot next to that lot.
The only three
The town-
above it,
The town does,
yeah, above it, but not below it.
No, he owns the lot below it, and then the house that's on Lake Shore
Yeah.
is below that.
Yeah, and the culverts have always been there.
He's just talking, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, we're all saying the same thing, I've just seen too many people flooded out by people just going ahead and doing something and not just protecting the town in your interest. Don't you, you don't even have a piece of paper with this lot and like where the culvert is and where the thing. If you don't wanna require that, that's fine with me, I'm just saying.
I think
Is
it
that
could,
something you could get us?
yeah.
Is that something you could get us?
You want a hand-drawn sketch of whether I can do that.
I mean, it would be better to have that, I think. Visual.
And Roxanne will be back
Yeah.
in two, I think it'd be better
So
to
in
have the
2
full
weeks?
complement of all.
Just want the lot footprint and the intended path of the
Your engineer,
culvert ditch.
gee, it'd be nice to have the guys doing the work in case something happens down the road. How many times have people said they're gonna do one thing and they don't even do that thing?
Who's to say you can't put it on for it?
Well, you can't, because you've got to have
That's
Permit from the
maybe
state.
you put your own septic system in, you don't need a.
you need a permit from the state.
Yeah.
You can build it, but you need a design and a plan.
Nothing says you can't put it on floors, right?
Yeah.
You can put it on floor, right?
You can put it in, but he's gotta get a permit from the state.
Okay, if you could have that for us within 2 weeks, our next meeting's in 2 weeks.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I
That would be
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry, we can't give you a full answer tonight, but I think we should cover ourselves as well.
I did check into that. What's your first name?
Chris.
Chris, I did check into that, and that work is forthcoming.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah. It's supposed to be done this month.
I hope so.
I'm not the contractor that's doing it, I'm just going by the meetings
And
and
then
the
going by the
emails.
meetings I've been
What's that?
on. And the meetings I've been on with the team that's doing the work down there. They're supposed to be getting it done in May.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's a speed up on it right now.
Yeah, it's not a good situation for you, and I feel bad for that.
Yeah, we do feel for you. I drove by it today just to take a gander, and then talk with Dan. He filled me in a lot. I don't think there's any of us who don't feel for your situation. Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
So I'll have that for you for the next.
I appreciate it, thank you.
I don't need to give room for the spend time.
I
Yeah.
did that.
We should still want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, acceptance for highway block grant.
Yeah, we each, I think we have to have a copy of what the check is, but this is just we need you guys to accept, sign this one. You don't need to sign anything.
Oh, okay.
I'll go on with that fund.
So I will make a motion to accept the $13,041.49 for the highway block grant.
There a second?
I'll second
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that brings us to
And thank you for looking at that.
emergency management.
Thank you for looking into that situation.
Um,
Appreciate that.
Jared is not here tonight, but I do have his fire EMS.
Right, but we didn't get anything from emergency management.
No,
So that one
we don't have. We have the fire EMS. Yeah, so we got 22 calls for service, this is for the month of April. 13 medical aid calls with no mutual aid, which is fantastic. 9 fire calls. Crews had a busy month with calls. Forestry 2, Car 1, and the Mule. Chief Wheeler, Captain Bowden, and firefighter Hoochman responded to Milton for second alarm bushfire. Personnel trained on the new cardiac monitor and expected to be in service this week. Personnel trained on rural water supply techniques. Firefighter Hoochman began the process of becoming a state instructor once again. Firefighter Powers provided CPR AD training to town employees.
Cool.
Highway department.
Right. All right, stand right here, Tim.
Of course.
I don't wanna print your ear, but
No worries.
maybe I get on speaker and stuff. Okay, so this is from April 14th, through, today. So bear in mind, we did have some snow and stuff back in April with all the black flags. You probably don't realize how not too far the distance that was, but. Okay, so, we rake the dirt roads as needed, try to get them tuned up for the summer. Wash the trucks, and that was when they still had the sanders and all that stuff on, so we try to wash them as often as we can when the temperatures are okay for that. Took the road posted signs down on 4/16, just so that the date is marked. I think we had them on for a little over a month. Met with Hampshire Shores, which is the other lake association, about their boat ramp and the access to their boat ramp. The edge of the pavement was starting to break away, so we had a little meeting with them, which they have fixed. They added more gravel to it, and that can just go along with everybody that's got a gravel driveway that's up the pavement. That's your baby to take care of. If you don't have gravel that backs up the pavement and it's starting to break away, you could be charged for having that fixed. So if you have a gravel driveway, you should be backing that up and making sure that's not happening. Ordered the chemical toilet for John Jones Beach. That'll be getting delivered week of the 18th. So it'll be there for Memorial Day. We'll have that all cleaned up down there. Fixed there was a sign out here on New Durham Road that got run over one night. Snapped the post and bent the sign a little bit. We got it all straightened up, put that back up. We went around and fixed some winter damage, some from plows, some from vehicles. Signs, we had a couple stop signs down. We had a couple of signs that were twisted and all that. So we went around and fixed those, and maybe a couple left that we haven't got to yet or we haven't seen. If you see those, give us an email or a call in, and we'll go up and have those, and we'll get those fixed. Have been periodically fixing the potholes on the dirt roads. Some of the roads have spots where potholes pop up, and instead of grading the whole road, we would go through and just either add some gravel or backtrack the gravel that we have there just to take care of those potholes. Hopefully once things dry out here and less rain is coming down, the roads will be in a lot better shape. They're in pretty good shape right now. Got all the wings and the plows, front plows painted, washed and painted and put out back. changed one of the cutting edges on truck number 22 was a wing cutting edge. So everything that we start off with next year either has new cutting edges or the cutting edges are real good to go. They're all painted, put up, ready to go whenever the next snowstorm is. Took the CPR class, AED, and choking and all that. I believe they're going to offer a first aid class as well. That was on the 24th, which was my wife's birthday on a Friday that I had off. But yeah, so anyways, we had a roadside cleanup with the blue bags. There are more of those blue bags. We have some. Scott has some. We went around and picked those up, took care of those, and got those in the dumpster. We actually filled the back of the 1 ton, and there really wasn't a lot of stuff out there as far as stuff that shouldn't be out there. Did a driveway permit on Pinkham, map 8, lot 11-4. And let's see, the fuel tank pad was prepped and poured. That's all done. We'll wait the 30 days, so the end of May. We'll pressure wash that off and seal it with saline siloxane. That's just a sealer to help with salt stuff eating away at it. Kind of a repellent. That was done on 4/28 and 4/29. As I said, took the plows and wings off the trucks, and they're out back away for the winter, for the summer. Took the sanders out, pressure washed those. Those are out back. And one by one, we'll bring them into the shop, run them through the shop, whatever they need for parts or whatever. They're in pretty good shape, but we'll do that before the fall. Put the tailgates on the big trucks, and after you have the sander out, you can lift the body all the way up. So we wash the undercarriage up around brake cans and all the springs in the rear end and everything, and then grease the actual scissors and stuff on the dump body, so which you can't do in the wintertime with the, and we usually grease those before we put the sanders in anyways. We started hauling the hot top pile away. We had some what we usually do is we pick up the hot top chunks when we have potholes and stuff like that. Or in this case, we had the hot top from the pad that was down here at the salt yard. So we hauled that up to our big pile that'll get crushed, and that'll get put into our crushed gravel that we'll use on roadside stuff, backing up the pavement, or on the dirt roads themselves. We put the water tank in truck number 22 and got that running so that when we do get New Durham Road dirt, commonly called Vine Hill Road for locals, so we'll put calcium on that road to keep the dust down, and it also puts longevity into the road as far as potholes and stuff like that goes. Again, raked New Durham Road and Pleasant Valley Road, trying to get those in the shape that I want them in before we put in. The only road we put calcium on is New Durham Road. Fixed potholes on Gary Road again. There's out near the end near Silver Street. It gets hammered. You get potholes every time it rains. You know, it's just one of those things. Dirt roads for maintenance. So we did that with a loader, using the gravel that we already had there. Pushed the sand pile up down at the salt yard while they were hauling hot top. So while they were going with the truck, we have in the wintertime we put plain sand on the roads. Plain sand in the wintertime freezes, get big chunks, so you got to kind of put those in a pile, push those all up, and to get ready for hauling the sand from the New Durham pit that was screened 2 years ago, I think now, maybe almost 3 years ago. The rest of that will come down here, along with our 1.5-inch crushed gravel, 3/4 stone that we use on pipe work, and wet spots, 1.5-inch stone, and erosion stone. So all that got crushed up there with that last time they crushed. Ordered the new flags. Those are in. We'll be putting those up probably Wednesday. Getting ready for Memorial Day. Was gonna do them on Thursday, it's supposed to rain. Supposed to start Wednesday, rain through Thursday, and Friday morning. And then started hauling off the spoils pile. Spoils pile down at the salt yard is where I'm gonna put my 1.5-inch crushed gravel. And that all came from when they boxed out the parking lot out here. And we're hauling that to a few residents' houses that filled out the byproduct waiver. And that waiver is, and anybody can do this. Anybody who wants to fill at their house, you come down to see me, you fill out a byproduct waiver, and all that's saying is you're not going to hold the town liable for bottles, poison ivy, stuff that you really don't want to fill. And that's all that waiver is for. So anybody can fill one of those up. So if you see us hauling dirt to certain people's houses, they asked for it, they filled out the slip, and it doesn't matter to me. It's a shorter haul than hauling it all the way up to New Durham. So, and that's it. Alrighty?
Thank you.
Thanks, Vince. All right, please.
I'll be short. Alright, police chief, month of May was busy. Month of April was busy. That's all I got for you.
That was short.
No, we went up in incidents. Just be protected. Something we prepare for because the snow's gone. People are getting outside. So we get more calls, neighbors, things like that. My neighbor's doing this. My neighbor's doing that. They shouldn't be doing this. So incidents went up a little bit. We had 61 this month versus 51 last month. No arrests this month. No accidents this month, which is good. Motor vehicles stayed about the same. We had 36 motor vehicle citations. Warnings or summonses issued versus we had 38 last month. We deployed the speed trailer now that the snow's gone. We put it in a couple different locations. If somebody has concerns and wants it in their neighborhood or in their area, by all means, let us know. We're happy to put it out there. On here, I have hats off to the people that showed up for cleanup day a couple weeks ago, Sunday morning. What do we have? 8 people, 10 people? Probably 10 of us. I would say we picked up upwards of 50 bags of trash. We did from the highway department all the way down to Frizios. We did Ridge Road. Made it past Buttermilk, but we didn't make it all the way to Silver. And we basically did all of Ridge Road from the center of town here all the way to 153, except for a short section in between because the 2 people that were down there didn't go overlap. But we'll get out there and get that section done too. So thanks to all the people that came out, some families, some kids. Very nice to see people out there to help. And
Where did you advertise
it was on Facebook. It was all over. It was discussed
meant to be here. I think it was on town site too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thanks to the highway department because we had far more trash than I anticipated. So I was planning to come in the morning, that Monday morning, to help them out. And by the time I get in there, I already had most of it taken care of. So thank you guys for that as well. We do have a ton of bags. I went up to the state before we did it, picked up bags. So the state allows you 10 cases a year, so I picked up 5 cases. And I forget how many cases, hundreds in each case. So if anybody's interested and wants to pick up their roadside in front of the house, see Dan or myself, we'll be more than happy to give you the bags. You can fill them up, tie them off, leave them on the side of the road, and pick them up. Again, still staffing. Anybody's out there, police officer, please give me a call. Come on down. Let's have a chat. I worked with code enforcement quite a bit in the month of April here into the beginning of May with multiple properties throughout the community. So that's been kind of a joint effort between the 2 of us. And we're making some pretty good progress, in my opinion, at this point as to where that stands. Our MDTs, we had quite a few failures with those over the last month. They are getting older. They didn't see a lot of use. They didn't get implemented when the town first got them, but they were outdated, so they had to be upgraded to Windows 11. So they had 10. We ran into some glitches with those, but we've got 3 out of the 4 back up and running. It's been quite a project, though. we're getting those done. And then just annual training. We're getting ready to kick off our annual training, so we'll be doing our fire training down at the range, on Ridge Road, along with some other training as well. At this point, everybody from the agency also attended the CPR first aid, AD training, got their certification of that as well.
Do you know if that has been emailed yet?
So the certifications, as I understand it, will not be sent out until they're invoiced. And Kim's working on that.
Okay, she said a couple weeks, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she's working on it with the instructor. And as always, we urge residents with concerns, complaints, or compliments, give us a call.
I have a question. What's the law on little kids on e-bikes?
So there is really no law on e-bikes at this point. E-bikes are treated at the current time just like bicycles as far as state law goes, but there is some clarification on e-bikes at the state level as far as, how do I word this? Their capabilities. So if they can go to such a certain speed, then it requires, that they have a helmet on. Well, 16 and under, you gotta have a helmet anyways, but they require to have a helmet on, so on and so forth. But there's 3 different tiers of the e-bikes. They're all supposed to have a label on them. I have been having conversations with most of the young, I call them adults, but the youths here in town, just asking them to be respectful. Because unfortunately, there is no legislation on it right now, and if it does become a major issue, and I've explained this to most of them, I'm going to be back before the board here asking them how to put an ordinance in. As far
Should
as
they be registered too or not?
they don't need to be. But I am working on putting a pamphlet of information together to put out on Facebook. It's actually all up on my desktop.
So the only requirement, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that they need to have a helmet.
If they're 16 or under.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, some of those bikes require a helmet. Even if they're over 16, they require a helmet.
Depending on speed.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think some of the reports from the numbers for what speeds.
Yeah.
No longer considered.
Yes.
unregistered.
I did put a post out there back in the fall about the e-bikes as well when they first kind of became a big hit. And I did actually have some conversations just today with some families because those bikes are pretty expensive. And I know some of the parents aren't aware of. So each bike actually has a designation sticker on it that designates what level of e-bike it is. And depending upon what that designation is on the bike, depends upon what criteria, if you will, is a requirement for the bike. So I'm working on putting together a kind of an info pamphlet, informational piece, and we'll get that out on Facebook and the town website when it's done.
Scary to see them zip by.
Some of them go pretty fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and they do great views too.
Like I said, I've had those conversations with
Yeah.
probably the kids you're speaking of,
Probably.
and I've asked them, at the end of the day, it's a matter of being respectful. If you're
I didn't
respectful, you're just tooting along on the road, nobody's gonna bother you about it. The minute you start tearing the dirt roads up, doing wheelies, building jumps in the middle of the road, etc., which they are doing all of the above, then it becomes an issue for us. And when it becomes an issue for us, well, then I have to have the ability to deal with it. And at the current time, with state legislation and statutes, there really isn't anything. So then that would be when I would come back to the board here and ask, basically try to develop an ordinance on it. And I've explained to all the kids, that's not something you want. So let's just be respectful of it. So,
Thank
all
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief, quick question for you.
Sure.
The AED machine, the spare, did that go
Yes,
to the highway department?
That got to Jared.
Okay.
And I guess Jared is going, I don't know if you have it yet.
No.
But Jared has
He's
it.
putting the bag together.
He's putting a bag together and everything else, and then we get it to him. But yes, it's in his possession.
Okay. Want to check on that?
Yes.
All right, town clerk tax collector. Let's see, the deposits for the month of April.
Yeah, just saying they're two separate. You were looking,
All right, we'll do the town clerk
it doesn't matter, just tell me.
first. So, for the town clerk, we got $70,000. $70,875.02 for the month of April. Budget. Tax collectors. 60,868.25. Deposits. Treasurer, she had to leave. CEO, he is not here.
Well, we got things from the treasurer, right?
Can we get to leave it? Oh, okay, I wasn't sure what I had it in.
This is the original one, that we just did, 3 signatures. And then we have a copy of it.
So this is a withdrawal request, this is from the treasurer, from the ambulance revolving fund transfers for 23-24 services. I'm requesting approval from the Board of Selectmen to initiate the transfer of funds from the town operating account to the ambulance revolving fund for a grand total of $13,653.70. The verified total owed for 2023 is $6,150.53. This total includes the dedication of fees charged during the year. Deduction of fees charged during the year. A difference of $2,833.13 cannot be accounted for in deposits made during February. The verified total owed for 2024 is $7,503.17. A difference of $399.23 cannot be accounted for in deposits made during January. There were no fees charged in 2024. Included is a breakdown of each month's transactions. The list was submitted by Fire Chief Wheeler and a member of the Board of Selectmen, as well as myself, were able to match exact amounts for 22 and the 24 months. Chief Wheeler is aware of the difference and has agreed to move forward with the number calculated using the operating account statements. She does have on the back here what those are. Anybody like a motion? Have you withdraw?
I just have a question. So, is there any way for us to reconcile the difference between the $2,000 difference?
I believe she has been over it and been over it.
So it's plain it's just gone?
I don't know that it's gone,
Okay.
but
Trying to figure out because then what's the almost $400 difference in 2024? No, it's both 2023, okay. All right, as far as I'll make a motion to accept her recommendation for the $13,653.70 to be transferred into the ambulance revolving fund. I'm curious about the differences. So, but that's something I guess we'll look into that later.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
CEO, we don't have anything from this. Tim, were you supposed to get something, a computer for conservation?
Yes, I've been on the phone with them, working with them.
Okay, you're working on that?
Yeah.
All right, super. It was mentioned to me today, I bring it up, so.
Really?
No.
Um,
DOS comments, next Saturday, the rec, May 16th, the rec is doing their craft fair at the school, 11 to 4. Anyone else got anything?
Yeah. Okay. Just Colleen, I know you were working with the rec part with the Wakefield Lions Club. So saw the signs have gone up.
I
That's-
was gonna say something, so Mary from the Lions Club had a ton of signs still, she left behind with Ivy. Initially we wanted to try to arrange it to do the walk day, but they didn't roll it that long, so Mary dropped some off with Ivy, but I have a ton, so if anybody wants any, put in their yards, perfect.
I stole one last night, so.
Yeah. And I have one of the car spot, yeah, I have the car spot. So I'll have that sign, I can also give some spot, if you wanna put it in.
Yeah, we can put some PD.
Yeah, I would say some of the roads that, like I live on the Cobra,
Yeah.
so a couple of the long straightaways before you get to the congested area,
Yeah.
probably be a good spot.
And I know Mary did go around, she did ask some residents if she could put them in their yards, so. I'll have a bunch.
Can I put one of my name to my road? Sure. By the telephone? Quit walking now. I wanna tell you what, you're gonna get way off the side of the road now.
Yeah, there's a lot of
People flying.
trouble with our roads, so they're 22 feet wide, and typically they're 24 feet wide. And like you said, there isn't a lot of room.
No, I'm talking about,
Yeah, no, yeah,
you're walking this road here now.
right, Durham Road, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, it's, that road is still only 22 feet, we don't have any 24 foot wide roads. So it's very challenging to be out on a public road and walking. You really have to be, as a person operating a vehicle in town, they really should be looking out, because a lot of people are, walking since COVID and stuff, that there's a lot in the kids on the electric bikes and all that. And not even to mention us out there working, guys picking up garbage, like the.
Deliveries happening, all kinds of stuff.
It really, and those signs, I think, are might up a little bit. It just,
I guess so. I mean, they're bright, they're yellow, they caught my attention, which is why I missed the only one, and yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, so I'm in Wakefield for the first time last year, so.
What's that?
Oh, they got a
Right
charge.
on the-
That's right, exactly.
Colleen, did you get some to the office with me in case, like PD isn't in, they come in and ask?
I didn't think of it till after Mr. Silva left, but correct me if I'm wrong, we don't meet in 2 weeks because of the holiday. So what are we gonna do? Correct me if I'm wrong, I think I saw that on the town calendar.
Right,
I
it's
didn't think of it
25th,
till he-
it's Memorial Day.
Till he left, and so should one of us reach out to him?
Yeah.
What should we do?
Can we reschedule that meeting? Perhaps.
I'd rather have it not wait for 2 more weeks after that.
That's something,
Yeah.
stuff we could do like Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah. I'd be good for that.
Yeah, like the 26th or.
We can do that.
Was anything scheduled here, Kim, that on the
If he has that sketch, I can
can't get it.
review
Oh,
it, if he wants, I can meet him out there, just to look at the lay of the land as far as.
Right.
Kind of just-
Let's say the 26th is open right now.
Oh.
So have the calendar right here. So the 26th at 6:30?
Is that free?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's,
Okay, so we make a motion for
No.
that?
I'll make a motion for that.
Okay, I'll second it.
There,
that's a good point, thank you for bringing that up.
What day is that gonna be?
Tuesday,
Tuesday the what?
26th.
Oh, Christmas.
Alright, all in favor?
Aye.
Anything else, Kate?
Yeah, did you get the email I sent you from the L-chip? They did that, they assessed this building
Yes.
and the report for that. And I put pictures of the assessment, which is interesting. And then I had a thought, does anybody know of any pictures of the paintings upstairs existing? I think it might well be worth it for somebody with a pretty good camera to take photos of all of the paintings.
The murals and everything, yeah.
Murals upstairs.
Yeah, that's it.
And safekeeping in case something does happen in the building, and then they can be reproduced, or and at least not lost forever.
Mm.
You know, I know we have a couple walls here and there, maybe somebody has all the walls, but
I
I
mean,
have a very good camera.
I have a pretty good professional camera if you want. I can.
You wanna do that?
Yep. I'll do that
Great.
this week.
Or anybody take any number of pictures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Safety
So,
and
I'll do that on Wednesday.
Did you get the full drawing of your desk?
But they already did it, thank you for that.
Anyone else?
I have a question, the, bags,
Yeah.
when you get them, do we need to let highway or you know if he's gonna?
It would be nice if you did, that way there, we're not just circling around, but yeah, so if you take some, you happen to, yeah, just, email the road agent or whatever. I put them right in the dumpster. You can, you can, yeah, you could put them in your regular.
He's not gonna bitch with this, no?
Kate,
I didn't
Also-
know special bag, you know what I
the
mean?
fire marshal's supposed to be coming tomorrow to,
Yeah, but what, like,
look upstairs at charge. No, was it you that was interested?
No, it wasn't.
Sorry?
It's okay.
No, that was,
That was me.
Are they gonna what, fire sprinkler or something up there?
They're gonna let us know what they need.
yeah, they're coming tomorrow, so.
Even more to get pictures if they assess, want to put sprinklers, because they often go off.
Water damage would be terrible.
Yeah.
Josh,
Question. The abandoned courts down there, is that part of the school or part of the regular town, or is
That's
that kind
school.
of shared space?
that's the
School,
school.
right? We did check into that.
The school owns it, so that is part of the school?
So that, it's grant funded. So it's very limited on.
What, where the old
That
basketball,
life would be
where
nice.
the old
Basketball
tire
court.
park was and stuff?
I couldn't, I can't believe when I went by there the other day, I said, my God, my son used to play basketball there, you can't even see where that place is now.
Well, that was kind of the thing, like,
Is there basketball hoops down there still?
they're still there.
Are they still there?
I heard there's TVs and
Oh, I can
tires and all that. So we did pick the ones up off of Silver Street, there was some TVs and someone did it for him, threw that out. That was pretty nice of them. In the cardboard boxes that all fell apart, but. Yeah, just make it have respect, that's all. I don't know what they're thinking.
All right, anyone else?
If you're gonna throw them on the side of the road, don't throw them down over the hill, because we picked the couch up there off Enforcement Road too. It's, yeah, my goodness, I don't know what people think when they do that, but
In a town, we,
I don't know.
you know, I mean, majority of it isn't.
Yeah, I hope you're right. You know, tires and stuff like that, but.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Both.
Tim, second,
Sorry.
all in favor?
Uh,
Aye.